Like I said, 99% of the people leave it here, and that's the way I like it as well.
Yeah.
Whatever. And this side here, I would only change this side.
Yeah.
I mean, the alarm panel. If you have an alarm is going to come up on this side all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you will have to and it override any other screen.
Mm-hmm.
You can put engine here, your generator, which is this side right now.
Mm-hmm.
Your diagnostics. Exercise, if you wanted to set the exercise from here rather than the ATS. In this case, we set it through the ATS. But the most important one is engine, right? So you're going to cursor up and down. You can see the cursor right there, right? Whichever one is flashing, that's the one that it's at, right? And you just hit enter. Okay. You have 4 screens here. One of 4 is being showed here. Shadow there.
What that mean?
1 of 4. You have 4 screens. So every time you hit enter,
Okay.
it's going to go to the next screen. And
All
it's going to scroll.
Gotcha.
And it'll just come all the way back
Gotcha.
to number 1 again.
Good.
Okay. The engine one is obviously the most important if anybody here is doing maintenance, because it's going to tell you your oil pressure, your water temperature at the time, your engine RPM, your battery voltage at the time, your coolant level, which just
What is the cooling level?
Yeah, it's 763. It doesn't go by if it's full or low.
Yeah.
It does have a low. Yes, it does have a low coolant level sensor here.
Uh-huh.
So if it ever drops below that, it's going to go into alarm.
Okay.
And that's a shutdown alarm.
What kind of cooling liquid I use?
This is ethylene. Oh, no, this one's glycol. This is a diesel.
Oh, that's
So it's just a 50-50. Same thing you would put in your car.
okay.
This is basically a car engine.
Is it same that
And it gets treated that
Gotcha.
way.
Good.
So anyway, for software purposes, this has to have the number, and it's 764 is is what it's getting. And on this same screen, it has how many hours this thing has ran. 1.1 hours total from the factory. Time it was started in the factory. Your throttle position, which don't make no sense to you, it does to me. When it's just a throttle body.
Yeah, yes it does.
And once again, it just goes with a number. And I'm back to my
Yeah.
first screen again. So that's the most important screen for you to ever see when this thing is running.
Yeah.
That one, and of course you want to know if your voltage is
Yeah.
correct.
Voltage, ampere, yes. Gotcha.
Okay,
All right, that
All
part
right.
is clear.
You should never ever have to go in here. Never. There's absolutely no reason for you to go in here. This is all my connections. I'm just going to show you. But
Yeah. No. We don't have to trust that.
yeah, and there's your
Nobody
your
had
fuses
to
and
enter
everything like
that,
that. You should never have to access
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You should never have to take this cover
Yeah.
off. You should never have to take that off.
Yeah. What about in case that I lose a fuse? I have to contact you guys?
If you lose a fuse, what kind of fuse are you talking about?
You're talking about so you got some
Okay,
fuse
these
inside.
fuses here power this up.
Yeah.
It powers this up.
Okay.
That's what those fuses are. I've never had. If that fuse blew, there's a problem.
It's a problem.
Yeah, there is a problem. Don't try to.
Okay,
ignore
in that
But yeah,
case-
I've never had one blow.
In that case, if I lose one fuse there, what are I supposed to do? Contacting you?
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Because
That's all what I need.
odds are something shorted out.
Yeah.
Whether the battery charger overheated and for some reason and blew the fuse, whether somebody had their fingers in here and shorted something
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
that'll blow
Whatever
a fuse.
it is.
Hopefully it'll blow a fuse, not blow a controller.
Just in case, you
Yes.
know, I just ask.
But the more so that people keep these here doors closed,
No,
the less chance that's going to happen.
the door is closed.
Yeah, he even locks it up, so he just.
I will let.
Yes, you got the keys for the dock, sir, right?
No. No.
Nope.
No.
They came
We-
probably with
No.
10 keys,
No.
We
and I don't see no unit with any keys.
nope.
I don't
We
get
ain't
the
get
key.
no keys.
No key. And that is a good observation.
Okay, this is the E-stop.
Mm-hmm.
Push it to stop. And it is exactly what it's saying. It is emergencies only.
Mm.
You know, somebody got their fingers in there and got caught up for some reason, that's a good time to hit that. Okay. It does not hurt anything to push it now. It doesn't hurt anything to push it when it's just running without a load. If you push an emergency stop button under a load, and this thing is hot, then you can hurt something.
Okay.
This one won't be that way. The other two will be because the other two have turbos on them.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing on a turbo is if it's under load and somebody hits an emergency stop, no cool down period, you can wreck that turbo. And we've
Yeah.
had people doing that.
Yeah.
Just out of common practice, they would shut it down like
No-
that.
nobody would do
The
that. Yes,
turbo
you can.
is 1,500 degrees. When it's under low, 1,700 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
You stop that thing, that's instant. That's a lot of heat to dissipate.
Yeah.
It'll take a bearing on it. But it's better than taking a life.
Yeah. Just in case. Yes. That's the only way.
So, but right now you could push it, and I would push it, and you would end up hearing this alarm. But then I got to go in there because the annunciator, which I'll show you later, will also go into alarm. And to get it back out, look at the arrow. Okay, I've had people on startup pull this off because they didn't follow. All you got to do is turn it,
Yeah.
and it pops up by
It come
itself. I've had people sit there and pull on that
Yeah.
thing until they pull the knob right off of it.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Oh, that's a warranty thing." No,
No.
Jesus, follow the
Yeah,
arrow.
It's really clear right here.
Yes, maybe I should color it in black or something. But somebody brought that up yesterday in a meeting, whatever. Now, yeah, that's a good point. I do see that. So, any questions at all on the H panel?
It's clear.
And this is the breaker. This protects the generator. Okay, from being overloaded. Remember
Okay.
that. We got 120 volts out here, and that's going to right here. A coolant heater. Are you from up north at all?
No?
Are you familiar with coolant heaters at cars?
Yeah, I'm
on
familiar.
with cars and on
I'm living 10 years in Chicago.
Okay, so you know. Okay.
I know.
So that's what I'm saying. On a car engine up north, you would have a coolant heater as
Yeah.
well. Doesn't quite look like that. They're usually in line with the hose.
Yeah.
But that they do make noise. I get calls a lot of times too, whatever, if I don't make myself clear with the owner, whatever. What? The unit's not running, but I stick my head in here and I can hear some crackling
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It sounds
the
like an
reason.
old
Yeah.
coffee maker
Yeah.
percolating.
Yeah, they keeping the engine warm.
Okay, and this one comes with a thermostat. It'll kick in at 75 degrees
Yeah.
and it'll turn off at 80, give or take a couple degrees.
Yeah.
So in the summertime, you probably will not hear it too often. In the wintertime, you always will. But it'll maintain that temperature of that engine about 80 degrees. The purpose of it, the main purpose, there's two purposes. Because when this unit starts, it runs at 1800 RPM, and it's instantly 2 seconds running at 1800 RPM. You want the coolant, you want that oil at a warm temperature. Otherwise, it's very hard on the engine to start something. It's like starting up an engine and slamming it to the floor,
Yeah.
right? That's why you want the oil lucrative. 30 weight oil, whatever, and it's going to it's ready filling. The second part, when you run an engine, every time you stop an engine, whether it's a car engine or not, especially in Florida, it takes the humidity from the air and it pulls it within the engine and it makes the inside of the engine sweat. Sweat drips into the oil. That'll let everything that's steel in the inside will pick up rust. As long as it's hotter in that engine than it is out here, it can't create humidity sweat inside that engine. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Obviously, where you check your oil. Once again, it's 30 weight oil.
Okay. That oil, what is the specification for the oil right here?
It won't say it on here.
No?
No, it will say in your own in the owner's manual for maintenance.
Where is my owner manual?
Do you or do you not have it?
No, I don't have
You
it.
do
What
not
is
have
my owner manual? We don't have it. I need a manual.
And I'm going to be told it was 6'4", but obviously it is.
Yeah, they
I don't know
got
why I'm looking at it.
Yeah, they got it.
Okay,
But I need the owner manual.
okay. Let's make a note of
It's
that.
really important for me.
It's they come with 4 manuals,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm going to be told.
It's really important to me get the proper documentation about these units.
This is a 6.8 liter. This has 10 cylinders. Watch your coolant level here. That's a good visual maintenance you can get. You have if this coolant ever disappears, either you had a problem or you have a problem. Yeah, coolant doesn't just evaporate.
Yeah.
People sometimes think, well, I always have coolant in my car every week or two. That coolant is going somewhere. Either it's going in your engine or it's going on the ground.
Yeah.
It's not evaporating. Well, as long as you watch your level here and it maintains, it's fine. If it boils over, of course it boiled over for a reason. You know, you had a problem. That's a quick visual for you. These visuals should probably be done every week or two, if possible. If there's somebody in maintenance, they should always be listening for when it exercises, and they should be out here and just do visuals. You know, that way they'll get to know the unit, and they'll also know if something goes out of is not common. It'll pop in their.
What about filters?
You have one air filter. That's it.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to.
Once I said, this is just a car engine. Is all this is. A 10-cylinder car engine, and it just got different heads on it basically.
Okay,
and a different.
what is the period to clean all the filters?
As needed.
As needed.
Yes, you got everything is hard here. Everything has got cement.
What is the way to access that filter? Right?
Same way it's on the car.
Okay,
Wing load
same
on
way.
top.
Gotcha. Perfect.
People get scared about a generator,
Yeah.
and it's nothing to be scared of. It's a car engine.
It's a car engine. I'm really good for car engines. So.
Do you play with cars at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so don't be scared of this.
No,
I mean, this is-
I'm not scared.
this, an alternator lasts a long time. You know, the things that take it out, this, what do you see down here? Trash, right? You see sand, you see leaves.
Yeah,
what's
that's not good.
that gonna hold?
That's not good.
It's gonna hold moisture.
Corrosion.
Yes. Corrosion is the #1 enemy on a generator. I'll follow very close by rodents. You got oak trees here.
Yeah.
This is going to be ideal for squirrels to get a nest in here.
Well, I have to clean all this mess. Yeah.
So keeping this clean on with a leaf blower or
Yeah.
something like that
Yeah.
it would be great. I didn't see it. Yeah, right here. See this? See the hole here?
Yeah.
Guess what's going to get in there?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
That's the entrance for a squirrel or a rat. This thing, remember, stays 80 degrees, right?
So usually,
You can get capped.
yeah. I will cover.
You can get capped over those holes.
Yeah, I will cover. That's for sure.
Yes. I see it all the time. That's if rust doesn't get filled, a squirrel will.
I will cover.
Or a coon.
Oh no. I
A
will
raccoon will
cover.
fill in here and tear this thing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will cover it. Gotcha. Okay. Battery. Yeah.
Nothing special. One battery in this one. There'll be 2 on the other one.
Okay.
This will be your dog house on the call, and obviously your alternator 60 kW.
How many times we had to run it that unit?
How many times what?
We had to run it that unit
Once a week.
once a week.
Yeah. That's what I recommend.
Okay, once a week.
Okay? I wouldn't go longer than every other week. If the ATS is accessible, I think it is bi-weekly you can run it, but then run it, best to run it with a load. In other words, it's taking the load from the whatever backs up and it's transferring it to the alternator. That's exercising your transfer switch in there. It's letting you know whatever it is, that it can carry the load and the transfer switch is working. You know that it's starting to generate. And it's warming everything up. It's exercising everything. That's why I like doing it with a load. Gases units, like I said, whatever, they heat up pretty quick. And you want to bring it up to the maximum temperature for 5 or so minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. So, I mean, this is a gas unit. It's a smaller unit. A 15, 20-minute exercise every other week would be minimal to do it. Yeah, that's a call that I would like you to make today, because I will program that ATS, whatever, in order to run that in that amount of time.
Running a week. Weekly.
You want to run a weekly?
A weekly.
For how long?
Just a minute.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
I said 20 minutes is minimum.
20 minutes. Okay.
They're very efficient. Don't think it's a very gas.
We're doing it in 2 weeks.
2 weeks for 20 minutes.
For 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With or without a load? With the load transfer?
I don't know if he understands the load. That's with the power off.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, the load is we use your building load to put it on the generator. and carry that load. Your transfer switch actually switches and carries that load. You would have a 20, what's it, like a quarter of a second of the power outage. For the most cases, it doesn't interfere with anybody. If you're looking at the lights, you could actually see them blink. But if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't even know that they blink. It goes that fast. I prefer to set it on Mondays, no later than Tuesdays, because the closer you become to the weekend, the more chances are by the time we get here, you're going to be paying time and a half. Right? Because I'll be over my 40 hours. So the closer you get to Monday to the exercises, the better. And with a load and with somebody here that would actually can witness that I've heard that thing start. Them are the questions you got to ask yourself before I set that ATS. Okay. And with a load is always better for a generator than without a load. It's better reassurance for you. But once again, these are gas units. Yeah. This will run maximum temperature without a load. And I do want to reach maximum temperature. It's harder on diesels than it is on a gas. So if with or without a load isn't that big of a deal here for a gas unit, but I still prefer with it because it's reassuring you that it exercises, that transfer switch is switching. So we'll come back to that one later. I don't know if you have to ask anybody else or anything. Obviously, this side, the only thing you're going to access is your oil fill. If you ever have to fill it, your oil drain down here. Pretty simple. This one actually has a valve on the inside as well. You need to get onto your radiator. It will be up on this side. All these little apparatuses, whatever you want to call them on here, you'll see them up here. That's kind of weird. That's something you don't see on an automobile, but those are signal conditioners. They're going between that and your controller over there. So just clearing up your signal, whatever, for that controller there. You don't understand. You don't have the
we don't have to call that. Nobody has to call that.
For the most part, don't. And I know, jinx myself here when I say this, but 98% of the time, a new generator, once it passes startup, if it passes startup, and I'm pretty critical about my startup, I don't ever have to come back to it. I should say, as long as it's maintained, I don't ever have to come back to it, or there's no warranty problems or something like that. If it started and it ran and it passed the startup, I'm confident about it. Right. If it didn't pass the startup, that always comes back to haunt me.
I just want to hear the sound for the motor. Okay. It's starting.
Okay. I'm going to put this in auto. You want to get a hold of Steve, whatever?
Yeah. Carlos, are you still in the kitchen? Well, you can do it, can't you, Lauren? Or you want him to do it?
No, I want to see what it is. I don't want to do it.
You want to do it? I can get him to redo
I
it.
want to see.
Okay, this is our transfer switch. Booster, and the visual on the inside. Always remember, people get it backwards. This controls that. That's
I need somebody to get Steve so I don't have to leave this.
Somebody puts a really long sleeve in there. Alright. Believe it or not, this is your book.
Yeah, over to the electric panel so you can cut off the power like you did earlier.
That's your book for your transfer switch. Never ever have to go in here.
You don't want to go in there.
Yeah, this will kill you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, right here, these three, they're live, and the ones on the back side and the front three, they are live right now.
That's what.
And the front three right here that say EB, EA, EB, and EC is for emergency. These two wires here, the blue and the red, is your remote start stop wires. Short of that, there's nothing in here that you ever have to touch, look at it ever again, or anything. Lightning strikes is probably your worst enemy here. If your building is hit by lightning, a lot of times it likes to take out your controllers. They're digital and
And is there any kind of a surge protector that you've
It does
heard
not
of?
come with a surge protector. Surge
Okay.
protector right here.
Okay, that's a
You
surge.
guys have installed these surge protectors.
Okay.
From your very good idea.
Right.
That has saved more money than that'll save a lot of these.
Yep, zap cap, yeah, them are good.
Yes. So, other than that here, you should never have to go in there again. This is tells you a lot more than what people realize. I'll have 4 lights on this unit, and it is what it says. See the power grid, the power lines right there? That is utility power, obviously, because that's what's in the picture. And that is saying, I have it. This is the switch that we just were looking at inside there. And only one of these lights better be on at a time. And it's the one that's producing your voltage to your building. It's carrying the load. Right now, utility is carrying this load. This one is closed. When the generator starts, the symbol's for the generator. This light will come on. This light necessarily will be on. But if this light goes off, that one will be on because your switch just went to generator power. I get calls all the time. My generator is running and the stuff that's not backing it up is on. How come my generator is still running? And I'll tell you right away. I'm going to tell you, come over here and look at this light. If that light is off and you're sure you have utility, this is probably tripped. And that'll trip. A lot of times you have a close lightning strike or something like that. Something short of that circuit. So it's supposed to trip. So it trips, starts the generator, carries your load, and will never come back until I have utility or S1 available, and it won't come back until that has been retripped. But this is the breaker to make that light come on. All right? Pretty simple, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to initiate a transfer. Well,
You can go ahead and do it. I don't know. He's supposed to be coming. But
there's a way you can test this just by pushing this and entering your password up here. Okay, that's to exercise. That's just to simulate a power failure without actually having a power failure, without tripping that. Okay, your password is always 1111. So I'm not going to do it because it'll end up starting it up. But I'll push 1, enter, 1, enter, and I'll do it 2 more times, and it'll start up and it'll do the transfer. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
This is going to simulate you lost your utility, right? And the main thing to look at is here. Watch how fast this light comes on. When that thing comes up to speed, comes up to that, which creates your hertz, 60 hertz, 60 frequency, and 208 volts. This thing will monitor it. As soon as it's there, it's going to switch from here to here. But when I kill this here switch down here to simulate a power loss, that light's going to go off. All right? And the room is going to go dark too.
All right. That's good.
Okay, here we go.
Gotcha.
There, you just lost utility, right? I already got the signal. Unit starts up, right? Look at that. That fast. That generator came up. That light came up. And as soon as that light came on, it said, I'm in my parameters. Volts, frequency, hertz. Go. Bang. Close the other. Throw that switch to the other side. And that will run now under this load until I have utility back. Okay, let's say the utility came back. Look at that. My utility came back, right? But why did it switch back? Well, if you look up here, it's counting down. Emergency to normal, 10 minutes. It's going to verify that. It's going to watch that for 10 consecutive minutes. Never missing a second. And you're going to have the right volts, frequency, all hertz, all your correct parameters within for 10 minutes. Once I have that for 10 minutes, it's going to say, okay, I don't want to stop while you stop starting that generator. 10 minutes has passed. Go ahead, switch over to utility. It'll switch over. This light will go off. That light will go back on. Then it's going to go down to that 5-minute engine cool down. Remember I said don't hit that emergency stop. You got to be like, suddenly hit the emergency stop, right? It would be hot. So it goes to a 5-minute engine cool down. It'll then count down 5 minutes up there. And then it'll turn the generator off. Good. And then it'll be ready for the next time. Now let's say, per se, right now you lost utility, then even for a second, that light will go off, the light will then come back on, and that will go right back at 10 minutes. It has to be 10 minutes consecutive. And I get the question, well, how was it on cool down? As soon as that's on cool down, if that light flickered off, this thing will instantly goes back on that generator. If I went over there right now and I turned that generator off, it'll bypass that timer, it'll bypass the coolant time, everything, and it'll go to S1 or utility. It's default utility. If utility is there, I'm going. It's not going to leave you hanging until that clock is expired. It's fail safe. Any questions? No. You really don't have to do nothing to this. Everything is so automatic. Dad talked this morning, where you guys were talking, you were going to have a switch, manual switch here. Then you would have had to come over here and obviously turn one on, turn on the other, and all that kind of stuff in the dark.
This is the best way that we decided here. What he's trying to tell you.
And a lot quicker and a lot safer. All right. Quick one here. I didn't think of. In this panel right here is your 120-volt receptacles, battery charger, and this one is called your jacket heater. That's your coolant heater. Number 7 and number 9. If anybody ever would go over there and change that battery, that start battery, which is recommended every 2 years, if they'd ever have to replace that, by God, turn this off. Turn that battery charger off. Because when you connect the new battery charger, it's going to say, I need to charge you at full amp because I'm not getting anything until you touch that battery. When you touch the battery out there, you can blow that controller out. That H panel, you can blow that digital controller out. Because that also lives on that 12 volts. And all of a sudden I'm getting a sudden spike, a current spike. And then once you're connected, then you come back over here and put your battery charger on. They are on 2 separate circuits because if one fails, it's not going to trip the other one out. I have a lot of problems with sooner or later the coolant heater usually goes out first. That trips out. If it's on the same circuit, it'll trip your battery charger out, and in one day your battery will be dead because you have a digital controller out there, and you'll never know it because your annunciator will also go dead, and you will have no alarm. So 3-4 weeks later go by, I didn't hear the alarm go off, and that's why. I didn't hear the generator because you got a dead battery. Now you not only have a dead battery, you have a bad battery and on start, you have a dead battery because you're not going to be able to recharge that battery again. That's the purpose of 2 circuits. Not required, but highly suggested. Want to step up to the annunciator? You can ask Vaughn, this annunciator is loud. Because it's hot. It's got to echo in here, and here in the hallway. That's like coming into a loudspeaker. Ideally, the only thing you'll ever want to see here are these 2 green lights on. Generator is running now. So you obviously know you had a problem, right? So the generator is running. When the generator stops, you only have these here 2 on. And here's your speaker. This thing is loud. Extremely high pitched.
So, oh, there he goes.
That loud.
So what would he need to do with this panel here at any at all?
If you see a red light on there, verify it on the H panel, whatever, and give us a call.
Okay.
Well, you should never have an alarm on here. You always have a problem when they do. And I mean, it's a great idea to have an annunciator to let people know, but many, many times, this thing has got an alarm in here. People sooner or later figure out all they got to do is put reset alarm, and it silences it. So then I come to a job site, you know, I had a red light for, oh yeah, that light's been on there for 2 months. Really? You didn't have the generator on for 2 months because somebody pushed the reset alarm button or didn't report it because after 5 minutes it'll silence itself. So who's ever in maintenance should always be watching that every day. Every day they come in. If they come through this door, great, I see it. It's a perfect place to have it. Very, very busy here
And then the other ones are
at the nurse's station.
are at the nurse's station.
Yeah. Always someplace where it's manned.
So that
That's
they
the
could
best
see it
place.
in the middle.
Many times I see the generators in this room, and that's where the annunciator is. I just started yesterday. I was like, what good does that do?
Yeah.
So yes, this was properly placed, but it also has to be understood. Now, people don't know when they see a red light on here. After a day of seeing it, they're not going to report it no more. That's common now. Somebody who knows it should be seeing that every day. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go take a